Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SpeedGaming Live 2021 tournament for the Zelda 2 Randomizer. We are currently in round 2 of the lower brackets, and today's matchup is going to be between TheAlanHeffley and Lord Nimbus. My name is Marai, and I am riding solo in the commentary booth today while also doubling up on tracking duty, so be prepared for a few inaccuracies along the way, but as always, I'll be relying on chat to help correct with any of that. Now, both of these runners have taken a loss already, so whomever loses today does go home. Back in round 1, Alan took a loss to Elendar. Unfortunately, he had a family emergency to tend to shortly after the race began, which resulted in a forfeit from him. And in round 2, Nimbus took a loss. Nimbus took a loss to myself. I'll be honest, it was quite a tedious seed to route with a double mountainous biome, which was already quite segmented as it was. So it was a tougher seed to play, no matter your level of expertise. But both of these runners are good runners, so we should expect a very good race today. We're hoping, I don't know what we're hoping for exactly. It's about lunchtime, so hoping for nothing too long, unless you had lunch before. But we're waiting to eat after this. SGL has a bunch of catering coming in. Some of that is true, some of that is not. But we should be getting started here very, very shortly. We're already past 15 minutes in the race room here, so it'll be any moment that this race does go live. Both of our runners are on a 15-minute delay. That is, of course, to help alleviate any cheating, any stream sniping, things like that, looking at your opponent. So we are on a 15-minute delay, and of course, we ask that nobody talks about any spoilers. See that one of these runners ends talk early in a channel somewhere that, it could be over, you can see it, but please don't mention anything ahead of time. So it looks like we have a canyon at biome here, seeing a pass through immediately on Alan's side, and on Nimbus' side, with that magic unit with the red Dyra right in front to greet us here. It's always a lot of fun. See how well he handles this. Both of them using the Zelda sprite here. This is one of the random sprites that is available in the randomizer. You can pick from a handful of different sprites to play with. Magic container on the grass tile. We did see TP, Great Palace, the final palace of the game, sitting there close to the start. And then this missed a death to that red Dyra, beating him up a little bit. We can turn that volume down a little bit here. Let me know if that is a little bit better on the audio side of things. I did turn down Alan just a slight bit there, who's also getting beat up by a red Dyra on this bridge. We did see a 1,000-point P-bag there. Okay, audio check is sounding good. I didn't see exactly what Nimbus got. He was busy touching some more controls there. But he did make it through Magic Container Cave. He did get past that red Dyra. It's just another Magic Container in Magic Container Cave and Magic Container on the grass tile. Okay. A purple, green, or a purple 3 or 6 palace right there. We're not sure which palace that'll be until we step inside of it. We've got Mito here with shield. Alan's thinking about it. Nope, gonna step out. Not worth taking that 3-screen trip just to see where medicine is right now. Doesn't have the jump or fairy spell, so no reason to go in there. Can't get down stab at the same time. You want to try to minimize your time that you spend in towns that are a bit longer. Oh, Candle. I'm sorry, Candle. No, Candle is automatically on both of our runners. That is part of this flag set here. I did mark that just now. We'll see that show up. I didn't see what was in Saria, but the other side is actually inaccessible. Okay, Fire in Saria. Fire in this flag set, Fire is going to be linked to another spell. So it could be something very useful, or it could be something not so useful. But We'll see if either of our runners pick that up eventually. Again, it's a gamble either way. Sometimes an early fire is a good pickup, and sometimes a later fire is a waste of time. By the time you've already got a bunch of magic levels and a filled out spell book, it's usually not useful to go into that town and just pick up that spell. Even though it may be something useful, it's probably statistically speaking not worth your time. So it does look like we do have still an islands biome. We have a lot of bridges. We have some connection, some pass-through caves at this point. I'll be honest, looking at both of their screens, it's a little difficult to really lock down which biome we're in right now. They're jumping around a lot. We're seeing P4, so we've got GP 3 or 6 and P4 here on the west. See if the woman in King's Tomb knows anything. She knows nothing. Senile old woman lost out here. Alan gonna do a little grinding, takes that bop. Oh, is he gonna? Okay, he's gonna come back for the red iron knuckle. He wants that 670. He's currently sitting at 643. 300 experience points for those red iron knuckles. Very nice. At least in that palace pool. Each palace pool has a different experience modifier. Could be the same, but it could also be different. So there's going to be palaces 1, 2, and 5, and 3, 4, and 6, and of course palace 7 is always its own completely separate palace pool of enemies and experience modifiers. So it looks like we are in Death Mountain on Nimbus's side. I didn't see exactly how he got there, although there were a bunch of connector caves in the beginning, so it could have been any of those. He sees a spec rock, still no hammer. We did see a hammer-blocked cave on the west as well. We'll see if the hammer presents itself anytime soon. Alan, bold strategy to just take axes to the face. That's 3 axes. None of those felt good. Gets this red diorite back, and we're going to see, okay, another magic container. Yes, so 2 magic containers. All right, no actual items yet as far as I can tell. Just 2 magic containers, but no magic to really use at this point. So Nimbus may have the right idea going into Death Mountain. Here we have Alan also stepping into Death Mountain, I believe. That is correct. Another canyon-esque Death Mountain with a river running through the middle of it. Sometimes you have a dry canyon, which is just kind of a bunch of desert all throughout your canyon, but sometimes there's a river running through it as well. A lot of different biomes that, several different biomes, not too many different biomes, but there's several different biomes that this randomizer, the 4.0 update, has brought to the Zelda 2 randomizer here, which always keeps things interesting for sure. And sometimes you can just have this amalgamation of terrain and layout, and it's confusing at times, but it's also kind of beautiful to see what this randomizer can actually do. And that's everything from just wild terrain to wild connections to interesting enemy sets in certain palaces, back to back blue iron knuckles, the things the audience really likes to watch. And the runners wish they don't run into during a live race. Like this, like we're seeing a bunch of red Dairas. That's always a lot of fun. We saw those in the west. We're seeing them here in Death Mountain. Death Mountain is, of course, their natural environment, but again, the randomizer being the randomizer can put those Dairas over in the west as well, because Death Mountain is technically, I guess you consider technically connected to the west, still part of the west. You won't see enemies from the east on the west. You won't see Los Alfos over on the west. You won't see Dairas over on the east like that. So each continent's enemy set will stay where it belongs, but it can kind of switch around a little bit between Maze Island in the east and Death Mountain in the west. Yeah, it would be interesting to see this terrible dig to Hammer Cave in Death Mountain, only to have Vanilla Hammer, only to open up Spec Rock and that Hammer Blocked Cave. Yeah, Zero in chat pointing out that attack doesn't look that great. Even attack 3 on Alan's side, taking another bop there, another 1,000-point P-Bag. Might be worth saving up for that attack, though. He was very close. He would have gotten that attack level off of that P-Bag there. That would have pushed him into the 1,200 he needed. So I don't know if either one of our runners are looking to do any sort of power leveling strats. It seemed that Alan is just kind of taking the levels as they come, putting him at 355 already. And Nimbus heading back into Death Mountain once again. 3-2-4. That's going to be a game over for Alan. He takes a bop. He's going to take a lava bath, but just pauses the game up in A's and starts fresh. So far, the seed is not really presenting anything too easy to them. If it is this early Death Mountain dig, which is not something that's all that rare. It's happened plenty of times in the past, and it'll happen plenty of times in the future. We've got hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of different seeds that we can play. The randomizer can throw anything at you at any time. So I thought Alan was going to head back into Death Mountain. He's saying no. He's going to check up. There's nothing up there over that bridge. It really looks like Death Mountain is the answer here. Nimbus, of course, back in Death Mountain once again, pulling up the hoodie, getting in gear for these tough Dairas. Finally at attack 4, though, looking a little bit better than attack 3, as it should, but there's no guarantee to that. If sometimes the next attack level may roll actually the same as the previous. So I don't know how far that can chain along, though. Just to be fair, I'm pretty sure there's probably some fail safes in place when it comes to the randomizer. It's not like you can have attack 7 and it still be as strong as attack 1. That would be pretty ridiculous and quite punishing. But you do have that option. Oh, a water bath there in that tough tile. That's a tough encounter here for Alan, especially with the birds and the boggle-boggles. That's the combination you don't want to see here. The birds aren't normally a big deal on any screen where you're much lower to the bottom of the screen. But when you're higher up on the screen, like you are in this particular encounter, those birds, they come down and they shoot right at you. And that can be really tough to get through there. So I don't know if we've seen, oh, here's a connection to the east immediately. So I guess we do have more options than a Death Mountain dig early on. We're going to have Spell in New Kasuto. Death Mountain holds the glove, so they're going back into Death Mountain for sure. We got that hint from that woman right there in New Kasuto. And the another magic container in the basement. So we needed 5 or 6 magic containers to get into the item basement here in New Kasuto, which was, they had plenty from early on. And I guess he's going to go pick up the spell. He could probably cast it. Magic 5, he has 112 magic at this point. Each one of those bars is 16 magic, so 16 times 7. 112, 128 being the max. Grabs the spell, and the spell is going to unlock the spell tower at the back of New Kasuto here. So this could hold something, obviously not the glove, but could hold something else of value. Perhaps they need the flute. Perhaps the hammer is required. Again, seeing that hammer blocked cave on the west, who knows what's in there. Or it could just be another magic container. We'll see. It is the child. And we may be having. I'm going to have to scoot over on the couch here. I was kind of sprawled out on the commentary couch. Drossi may be joining us here shortly. I think he's still in his pajamas on this lazy Friday afternoon. Yeah, unfortunately, Death Mountain is required, but the glove, I mean, Alan is probably in a better position right now. The East is open. It's probably worth trying to find some more experience, some more spells. Thunder could be over here and readily available. Fairy maybe over here and readily available. And he does have the child now. So the child is going to, of course, there's going to be, and there's the magic key. So he will be able to just begin walking in the palaces at this point if he wants to. Reflect there is child blocked, but he did pick up the child and the spell tower. So right now, I would say Alan definitely has the upper hand, making his way to the east there, while Nimbus still digs through Death Mountain. It's hard to say. It was pretty densely packed there early on. They were moving across the water. They were moving up and north from where they began, but then it was just south from where they began was another cave that just led to the east. So it was pretty open, it seemed like. Oh, here at the top of Death Mountain. Wow. Another requirement to push through Death Mountain get into the maze, find the Maze Island connector bridge, which does take us to Maze Island in this seed. And if the boots are here, then that's going to always create a bit of a difficulty. Alan's going to have a bit of a difficulty making it to this point. But if the boots are elsewhere, then if Alan finds the boots, then that's going to kind of negate that canyon, that water-filled canyon biome. And we do have Drosy here in chat with us today. Sir, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are.
Good morning from where I currently am. But yes, I guess this is an excuse to give a recap of the race since I'm just catching up.
Yeah, so it looked like they were on a kind of island-ish west. It was a little punishing to begin with. We had some punishing encounters. Red Dyras was showing up. We saw an early connector to Death Mountain. We had some digging into Death Mountain for a while. Seemed unsuccessful. They were getting beat up, more red and orange Dyras along the way. And Alan just kind of went south from start, and he found a connector cave to the east, and so he was digging around to the east until just a moment ago when he up and A'd, and Nimbus continued to stick into Death Mountain, and Death Mountain did have the Maze Island connector bridge all the way at the north, which did lead to Maze Island, but the one thing that Alan has is he has the hint that that Death Mountain holds the glove, so either Hammer Cave or Speck Rock. We're not sure yet. They don't have the hammer, so we'll see where all of this stuff is at. I think there was a heart container there, the second item in Maze Island, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was a heart container. And we also saw Lord Nimbus get a 1,000-point P-bag drop at one point, so looks like it's going to be a fast experience gathering seed.
Yeah, they've been leveling a good bit here. Alan's still at attack 3, though, which is not doing so hot. Nimbus all the way up to attack 5. He is going to jump into this palace, though. I don't think he's got fairy. He definitely doesn't have the magic key. Alan just picked up the magic key, which I'm failing to track here, but he does have the magic key, and that was on the east. So Nimbus definitely doesn't have that, and I'm pretty sure they don't have access to fairy at this point.
Sorry, did you say the access to Death Mountain was from the east?
The access to Death Mountain was from just south of Start in a connector cave.
Oh, so Alan's already been to the east and back?
Yeah, he did a little bit of exploration on the east. It doesn't seem like he unlocked a whole lot of it, but he did see the desert tile. He did see New Kasuto. He saw the woman's basement, which had another magic container, and he did see the spell tower, which had the child. So whatever Darunia has in it, we have no problem getting that. Those are pretty open, so once Nimbus does find the east, those aren't too hidden, so we don't really expect that to be too difficult to break into for him. Nimbus does find the item room there, but he doesn't have a key or any way to get through the door, so he's just kind of in here. Not 100% sure the thought process here of jumping into a palace early without the magic key. We didn't see any keys in the drop pool either, as far as I know, just been those large P bags, and he's going to up and A and dip out of there. So
yeah, I mean, he found a key in that palace.
Okay.
So he was able to unlock a door, which he kind of hesitated about because it was the second locked door he had already seen. But Nimbus is back in Death Mountain, so that's good. So hopefully he'll be able to find the glove here.
That's funny. Trail's pointing out in chat, we don't have a timer. I am watching the race room. Fortunately, I don't want to watch it forever because I'll see who finishes first ahead of time. Because again, we're on a 15-minute delay, but we're currently 33 minutes into this race. So if you want to start an egg timer at that point, we're 33 minutes into this race as of 12:33 p.m. Eastern time.
Well, but with the 15-minute delay, that means 18 minutes in on Restream.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Very true. Yeah, that's right. 33 minutes, and we don't have any palaces down. We barely through Death Mountain. That would be one hell of a seed for sure. Oh, there's going to be Hammer Cave for Nimbus. We'll see if this holds the glove, and if it doesn't, he doesn't know. He won't know that Speck Rock holds the glove then. But if this is where the glove is at, then this could potentially change things up a little bit. He'll have just stumbled upon the glove without the hint, but Alan knows to dig around here, so...
Oh, and Nimbus has a timer, so I'm going to try to get it on the stream. Alan does not.
Alan casting a little reflect. Oh, still takes the hit, though. Oh, and that's going to be a game over there on Maze Island. Ouch.
Oof. Nimbus fortunately has plenty of lives left. I wonder if he's going to take the magic level here, if he'll try to grind up to another attack.
Yeah, the levels that they've been taking, it's a little, you know, usually when you see like okay, well, there's your answer. I was going to say, when you usually see like a power leveling strat, it's usually just straight attack and, you know, not life and attack. But
and there was the glove in Hammer Cave, so we now know where that is.
Now, just trying to catch up on tracking here. Forgot the child on Alan's side as well, but that's now marked. I'll try to keep an eye out in case I missed anything else here. Death Mountain definitely is the play at this point, and Alan knows that there's a Maze Island and a glove access here in Death Mountain, so he's back again. 1,000-point P-Bags, welcoming. He's up to attack 4 finally. Probably feeling a bit better about that. Red Dyras all along the way, throwing their axes.
And there's Nimbus's Timbre.
Perfect.
Oh, except it's kind of variable width. That's annoying. Never seen a variable width timer like that.
Nimbus is about to find the connection to the east right here. There's our connection to the east. He's looking around, doing a little tracking. You can see his mouse flying across the screen there. There's New Kasuto. Again, we've seen Alan come in here. This first woman's going to tell us about the glove in Death Mountain. He just got the glove, so he's like, I got it. No problem. Oh, so it is 6. Oh, it is 6 magic containers to get into the woman's basement for the 7th magic container. So Nimbus doesn't have 6. Alan saw a magic container on the grass tile, I believe on the western side of the west. And then he saw a magic container in Magic Container Cave, which is what Nimbus got as well. So Nimbus didn't pick up the magic container on the grass tile, which leaves him only at 5, unable to access the 7th one in the woman's basement. But he will get spell 65 magic at Magic 3 castable, so he's going to head back and get the child as well. I'm just going to prematurely mark that because I'm sure I'm going to forget it in a moment. As always, Chad, if you see anything that we've missed on the tracker, just let us know. Sometimes we do hit the button. Sometimes it doesn't show up on the tracker. We'll just have to hit it again.
Have we found Darunia yet?
I don't believe so, no. Or, I'm sorry, wait. Yes, it was Reflect, was it not? That's right, Ellen has Reflect.
Oh, okay. Reflect seems to have a way of being vanilla.
Yeah. Those 1,000-point P-Bags are dropping like candy.
Yeah, Alan should be able to get attack 5 soon.
I wasn't watching. Yeah, I wasn't watching if they're coming from both the small and large enemy pools, but they're at least coming from the small. And obviously, a ton of small enemies can just be, respawned and farmed if necessary.
Yeah. When a bot drops 1,000-point P-Bag, that's just like, okay.
Exactly. So I suspect Alan will make it through Hammer Cave here. That's going to get him his glove. We're getting jump for Nimbus on
I'm really surprised he took life rather than attack there, because that 1,000 was enough. He could have taken attack.
That's actually the second time Alan's done that. He seems to just be taking them as they come, not really worrying about doing any math or thinking beyond any numbers here.
Chap pointing out that he probably wanted the health refill. He hasn't found any heart containers yet.
Yeah, there's only one, and Nimbus did find it, and I forgot.
Right, it was on Maze Island, and he hasn't been to Maze Island yet.
That's right. So there's going to be our raft and trophy cave. Nimbus does come back to the west. He doesn't do any further exploration on the east. Just wants to see what else is over here. Instead of digging into the east a little early. It can be punishing to dig into the east early if there's something you really want on the west, but you wouldn't know that ahead of time until you just figured things out. The raft was right next to the raft tile, apparently.
And Alan did grab his glove in there. So both runners are gloved up. And I guess, where in East Hyrule was the magic key, if you remember?
Right here in the desert tile.
Oh, okay. There we go. How about that?
Yeah, so that's funny. The raft and the connector cave right next. The raft tile is right next to the connector cave, which leads to the east, and the raft, of course, leads to the east, and they both lead pretty close next to each other where they land you on the east. So either way, it's your choice.
And Nimbus promptly found out that, oh, what do you know, Darunia is vanilla and I have the child. How about that?
Yeah, so Alan walking into Raru here, also going to grab his jump spell. He's right next to the trophy cave, which is the raft. So he's just retracing the steps of Nimbus. And, at this point, they've seen the connector cave to Death Mountain. They've seen a Maze Island connector bridge to Maze Island, and they saw the connector cave to the east. So at this point, the raft, no matter where it takes you, is probably going to be, useless unless you have a segmented east or even a segmented Death Mountain or something like that. But it doesn't happen that often where you're completely blocked off from one planet with two different connectors to reach the entire continent. But it's possible, as I was saying very early on in the introductions, that Nimbus and I raced, and our seed where I won, we had exactly that. We had double mountain biomes with very segmented east with our two connectors. Not impossible.
But as best we know, we have access to the entire overworld now.
Yeah, we have to at this point. We because with the raft tile and the connection to the east, the cave to the east, both landing us right next to each other. This has got to lead somewhere just north of this town where we enter. I'm still not sure if we've seen up there. Could be a volcanic east. Looks like a lot of lava over here. And for those not familiar with that, volcanic east would mean that we have to pass through Death Valley to get to the other side of our eastern continent. It is kind of looking like that. There's not a lot on the southern section, which is probably why Alan dipped out of here after he got the magic key and saw the reflect spell. He probably didn't want to go through Death Valley without Fairy, hoping to find Fairy somewhere else. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. They might have to be pushing through Death Valley here without Fairy. So that should be a lot of fun.
So I have to ask, how do you learn all the biomes here? Like, do you just play and see all the different things that come up eventually and figure it out?
Yeah, in the randomizer itself, there's a little section where you can actually select the biomes specifically. And then if you want to just kind of see what those have in store, rather than play them out slowly, you can obviously just crank your levels up, make yourself invincible, and just kind of kill off overworld encounters. And then you can walk around the biomes if you want to really get a good feel for the way that they tend to be laid out. Or you just play a bajillion seeds and eventually you see a lot of stuff, or you see pretty much everything. But yeah, there is usually we play with, in the randomizer, we play with a random setting for the biomes, but you can select specific biomes if you want to. They're all in the drop downs. There's 4 of them, 1 for each continent. And go ahead.
No, speaking of 4, Alan just found 4.
Yeah, he's finally got reflect, so I guess he's going to dig into this now. Attack 4 is still maybe a little weak. I'm pretty sure he really wants that attack 5, though. Hopefully he'll grab that.
And this is 3 or 6 for Nimbus.
Yeah, both of our runners back on the Or is this? I'm sorry. No, this is Death Valley here. This is our Death Valley.
Yeah,
palette.
and there is a cave at the far end, so
Okay.
it does look like there is some sort of pass through. But he's here. There's a palace. He's got the glove and the magic key.
Yeah, I think the 3 or 6 sister palace was also purple on the west, which if I'm not mistaken, which is why I think I had this confused.
If it is 3, though, we don't have downstab.
It is 3 by the look of those windows. So we will see if Nimbus is able to execute a downstabless Rebanak here. Yeah, they did see Mito. They did see Mito. So, or at least Alan saw Mito.
Was it before they had jump?
It was before they had jump, and I believe it's on the west side of the west. So they'd have to go through another pass-through, but it is accessible. It is the shield spell, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I guess 1,000-point P bags are in the big enemy item pool as well, because I think that was just a red iron knuckle that dropped that one.
That makes more sense why they're dropping like candy then. They're coming from both pools. Unfortunately, just a dead end for Alan here. He'll have to turn around. Karak looks like he's probably down a left path somewhere. P3 is going to be a smaller palace, so this could be Rebanak here at the top of this elevator, and it is, so let's see, all eyes on Lord Nimbus.
At least he has attack 6, that's a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, that is a good place to be.
Looks like a beefy Rebo, though. Well, at least the horse was beefy. Actual Rebo wasn't too.
Yeah, not too shabby. Gets him off the horse and takes care of him. Very nice, and that's going to be Palace 3 down for Nimbus.
And I guess he's decided to just go 666 here. Oh, no, 7657. Huh.
Interesting.
I'm surprised Life 7 came before Magic 6. Wow, the orange Lizalfos is giving 500?
We're seeing a lot of experience in this seed, for sure. The Dyras weren't given that much, though. They weren't given, like, red Dyras can roll all the way up to 300. We were not seeing that.
And so Death Valley is locking another palace here.
Yeah, we're going to have... oh, I see. Okay. Beyond this point, though, we're also going to see... how many? We only saw Darunia on the southern half, so that means we're going to... Oh, I saw New Kasuto. That's right. I thought we saw 2 towns. So we're going to see another town up here. It's going to be... Well, it could be anything. It could be Old Kasuto, could be Naburu, but at the same point in time, we did see a forest tile on the southern half of the east. So might need a hammer to get into a town, or that could be nothing behind there. I guess we'll find out soon enough if those towns...
This is rude, by the way. You get out of the Valley of Death, and you're in a swamp.
You can send all complaints to Dig Shake Industries.
Wow, P4 just keeps going and going.
That's a good old P4 right there. Did he see? He must have checked the bottom of that elevator. Maybe came out from that elevator. I wasn't fully paying attention there.
And we have Nimbus and P5 meanwhile.
So the spell turns enemies, at least in this palace pool, into orange iron knuckles.
Which isn't the worst thing.
Yeah, at least it's better than blue iron knuckles.
That's just shameful. Game over from a bot.
And he was in the item room as well. So I wasn't 100% paying attention when Nimbus walked into this palace. Is this 2 or 5? Was there a...
5.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw the windows.
Yeah, so it'll be a little interesting if our fairy town is actually behind that forest tile in the southern half of the east. That means we're going to have to dig around for the hammer, unless I want to gamble on no fairy going to Death Valley. I'm sure this is exactly the seed that both of them wanted to play Friday afternoon here. The other thing is that Alan knows where Maze Island is, so he may head back there at some point because there's just 2 free items sitting in the open, and we know one of them is a heart container, the other one is just a pea bag, same as the item here in P4, just a pea bag, but yeah, that extra heart would help him a little bit for sure. Even at life 7, he's still taking a little bit of a beating.
That's an interesting colored iron knuckle.
Yeah,
I love the palettes here sometimes.
It's funny, certain rooms will just affect the palettes of the enemies in them. Sometimes I like to see when you see a blue bot which turns into a gray bot, I like to just call it a metal slime. It's a fun little side fact for everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely the blue enemies that does it too, because it's the blue iron knuckles that turn like that weird shade, or also gray. And here's Guma.
657 shouldn't be too bad. No shield spell though, no down stab, so probably going to be a little slow here.
And with his experience, he'll be able to get 2 levels off this.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, we'll have to see how much that ball and chain is hitting us for here if we get a chance to. Nimbus might just flawless victory.
Nice.
As Alan finds Karok. And it is nice to see those 1-ups dropping from the bosses. That's always what you like to see. You're always thinking ahead to Great Palace and Thunderbird. You want that extra 1-up. You know, especially when you run into Thunderbird, you got to take that death sometimes and you don't have enough magic to cast Thunder. And so, you know, just getting that free 1-up to know that that death wasn't entirely wasted, that life wasn't entirely wasted when you hit Thunderbird, or if it's a punishing Great Palace before or after Thunderbird, again, that 1-up is nice to have.
I just realized 2 bosses in and Nimbus is at 668, which means the other 4 gems could get him up to 888 if he wants to, you know, wait out the experience gain. Alan, likewise, 1 boss in and 667, so yeah, it's just a matter of whether they want to wait out the experience gain for the gems, but we could be seeing an 888 game here.
Oh, is this going to be... Oh!
Ooh, nice.
And that was in, I believe, Sunken Peabag Cave? Could be Risen. It's Sunken. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to make navigating... That's what I was kind of referring to earlier. If we find the boots kind of in the open, then navigating that Death Mountain is going to be a bit easier, making it back to the Maze Island that is all the way at the top of Death Mountain there is going to be super easy now instead of having to go through 3 or 4 caves like they had to before.
And here's going to be either Naburu or Old Kasuto. Either way, free spell. Oh, nice. We finally found Fairy.
Yeah, that took long enough. You never, I mean, it can be really difficult, really punishing to try to make it through Death Valley without Fairy early on. We got kind of lucky in the sense that we had a lot of experience that was just we were just drowning in experience, 1,000-point P-Bags. So it made it a little bit better trying to make it through Death Valley. I don't know if we saw invisible MOAs in those lava encounters or not. That's another thing that can really, really set you back.
I think there were. do think I saw Nimbus getting hit by an invisible enemy.
Yeah, without the cross, and if you had low levels, low health, sometimes it's a 1 or 2 shot from those MOAs and anything else there on the east as well, even though there are spiders and things like that. I do believe that they take off more health.
And here's old Kasuto.
Oh, he's still getting beat up by that MOA at life 8.
But he's now got a life spell.
Yes, which hopefully heals for more than 1 bar.
Wow, that is a powerful life spell and only 30 magic at Magic 6.
Yeah, that was at least 4 bars. He doesn't have any more than that to heal, so it could be a full 5-bar heal. In this flag set, for everyone watching this flag set, we do have a randomized or shuffled life refill amount, so it could heal for anywhere between 1 heart container all the way up to 5 heart containers. So, yeah.
We found 3-eyed rock, but no flute.
So this, we didn't see all 3. Okay, so there were invisible MOAs in there because he just took a lava bath as a result.
Right, we've seen 2 palaces in the east.
Yeah, so this leaves a little bit more exploration, perhaps, or it's going to be a flute or hammer palace. Oh boy, we're running out of space on the east here. We've got a little, looks like a little pass-through cave going down. Perhaps it's, okay, good. So it is a pass-through cave. That might actually lead to a little area where there's a palace. It's
unless it just leads to that little dead end over there with the swamp and the 1 cemetery square. I think Nimbus has decided that's probably where it goes.
Yeah, that cave was facing the wrong direction, though. Our caves should be taking us in the direction they're facing, and we should come out on a cave that's then facing north rather than east.
Oh, good point.
So I don't think we saw where that ended, and so it's possible, not very likely, but possible. It's probably more likely we're looking for a flute or a hammer at this point, though. But it would be somewhat amusing if it was down there and they're digging for flutes and hammers, and all of a sudden he's in the open the entire time. That would be infuriating from a runner perspective, but somewhat amusing from the audience perspective.
And is this P2 for Alan?
6.
6, okay.
Yeah, this is the sister one where I thought they were both purple.
Oh, and it is downstab blocked.
Well, he can break down these blocks here, knock out this iron knuckle, and then break out those blocks.
Through the... Wow, I didn't know that... Wow, I did not know you could glitch break a block with, like, a roof over you and stuff.
It's a very cool room, yeah. It's a very cool room where it's only glove / fairy blocked. Although annoying to get through at times.
That's for sure.
Without downstab, without upstab, or the fairy spell. Alan not wanting to take the drop there. Who knows where that goes? I don't know if we've seen a drop room already. Might not be wanting to risk it. Probably better to just check the elevator first before you commit to the drop, because it could be Barba.
Well then. And a weak Barba, too.
Nimbus with the flute in his palace. Is this P1? No, this
is P4, isn't it?
P4 was green.
Oh, right.
Those windows showed.
Wait, what was the red one then or was it Nimbus that was already in a red one, and this is another red one?
I think this is another red one that Nimbus was already in.
Yeah, and right, this has to be one orange iron knuckles and all.
So that's a potentially a big play. We'll have to see if the palace on the east does reside behind the 3-eyed rock. Again, it could be that forest tile that's down in the south. And that would mean we need a hammer.
Is that like a follow alert on Nimbus's screen?
I do believe so. All right, so 1, 3, and 5 down for Nimbus, 4 and 6 down for Alan. He's got an item rebo here. At this point, I'd like to see a hammer, but Alan might be hoping for a heart container.
Oh, wow, that is a long walk across the water. I guess the island biome will do that to you.
Yeah, it looks more islandish here. We were a little confused early on. We had a lot of caves. It wasn't really open to us, but I think it is safe to say that this is an islands biome. Just it's kind of canyon-esque as well.
And there's the final magic jar.
Probably the last thing he wanted to see. They got so many magic jars so early on. I believe this is going to be Mito right here for Alan, so he's definitely going to go get downstab. Finally, 44 minutes into the seed. So I believe this is then, this is going to be 6 for Nimbus here. We know that Barba's not too far in. I don't know how many rooms exactly Alan dug into, but we do know it's that drop room / elevator room where Barba is just after that.
Yeah, and it's going to be that annoying way to slash through the blocks first. But boy, is a cheap life spell nice to have here.
Oh, yeah. Especially since Nimbus has found the only heart container up to this point that's been available.
Yeah, and Alan doesn't have that life spell either.
He's going to have to make it through Death Valley on the east without Fairy, which I'm sure he's not excited about. And then he can get Fairy, then he can get that life spell in Old Kasuto, and then he'll know that there's a 3-eyed rock on top of that forest tile that he's already seen in the south of the east.
Nimbus also executed that room so cleanly. Yep, here's Barbara pretty quick.
I was waiting to see where Alan was going. Looks like he's going back to the east at this point. He is headed down there through this terrible encounter.
Oh, so I'm just realizing, where's Thunder? Somewhere in the west. Is it in Mito? No.
I think it's going to be in Rudo.
Okay, so we still need to find the trophy, which means that Nimbus is probably going to have to continue to the item room here.
Yeah, trophy could be, I mean, it would be another interesting twist would be trophy and Spec Rock and then hunt for the hammer. I mean, there's still several things at large trying to figure out where that final palace is, trying to figure out where the trophy's at, things like that, things that they need, obviously, to progress through the seed. Or, there it is.
Oh,
Fire?
What? Yeah, I think in case Fire's linked to Thunder, wouldn't you pick up Fire and see?
Yeah, at this point, I don't know. I was talking earlier, finding Fire early, it's pretty much a you want to pick it up just to see what it is. But later, if you've got a spell book that's filled out, it might not be worth your time. But with Thunder still at large and knowing that it's going to be the trophy, still not knowing where the trophy's at, maybe it's worth just grabbing Fire. Could be a cheap Fire Fairy as well at this point. Could help them. Or if it was a Fire Life, that would also be nice at this point, knowing that it heals at least 4 bars of health.
Yeah, whatever fire does, that is really cheap. I didn't really catch what its second effect is. It's clearly not fire linked to fairy. It is thunder.
Wow.
That is the cheapest thunder spell I have ever seen, and there's GP. So I do think at this point it's looking pretty likely our final palace, which will be P2, is at Three-Eyed Rock.
Or the forest tile. I'm rooting for the forest tile myself.
Oh right, if we hammer it.
It's gonna be P4 for Nimbus and P3 for Alan. We know Karak was a little bit of a dig, I think, and I don't exactly remember.
We still never found Mito either for downstab.
Yeah, it seems like
I'm sorry about that audio change. I was putting it on Nimbus because he's in the lead, but apparently he didn't mute his mic.
Yeah, we referred to that early on, and I think Diesel, who was setting us up, thought he could pull some clean audio from Nimbus, but apparently not. It threw me off as well. I'm thinking, wait, is that coming from me?
Yeah, I was saying we found Mito, but I mean, hey, we got a little bit of insight into Nimbus's thought process there, so he doesn't know where Mito is yet. Interesting.
I didn't see how much Fairy was at Magic 7.
46, I think I just saw.
Okay, I was going to say, I just looked away again when I saw him open his menu.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because that means that Nimbus can only cast it once unless he finds another magic container, and he's not getting the 1 out of 6.
Yeah, again, a little bit of a twist early on where Alan found both of those magic containers that were available without any boots or anything like that on the west. And then, of course, New Kasuto, the woman who blocks the item in her basement, she wanted 6 magic containers, and she gave Alan the 7th. And, of course, we saw Alan pick up the 8th in whatever palace that he was just in.
That was 6.
Okay.
Because it was guarded by the Rebo.
That's right.
And speaking of Rebo, that is Alan's 3rd gem.
Still going to look for the item here. He does know where Maze Island is, so it's you know, you wonder if you just want to go to Maze Island, see what those items are. Actually, no, he was not back there. Otherwise, he would have had that heart container. Okay. Maybe he just hates Death Mountain, which is entirely acceptable. Doesn't want to dig that without the boots. Actually, I think the boots were in P3. Am I mistaken? Where Nimbus found those.
I thought the boots were in a cave.
Boots might have been in a cave somewhere.
I think the boots were in a cave in East Hyrule.
Oh, that would have been, I believe that was Sunken P-Bag Cave then. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, here's going to be our item anyway.
Just a pea bag. And 100. That's insulting. That's just insulting.
Yeah, when you got 1,000-point P bags in the drop pool, and it's like, well, here's 1/10 of that for your effort. Yeah, one final lava encounter here for Alan. Going to be no big deal. He's just got his lives back after up-and-ing and getting out of P3. This should be pretty simple. Unlikely to lose all of his lives here. Turns everything into Zoras here on the east is what the spell does. Oh, he took an encounter one tile too soon, or he didn't get it in time. There we go.
Yeah, Nimbus had the same problem. Ooh, and Alan does not have Fairy to rescue himself from a lava bath. Oh, and the P4 item is just a P bag, too.
Well, this is going to be P5 if Alan wants it. I'm pretty sure you'd never really just want P5, but he's going to take it. It's a little, you know, I don't know if you take it right as you see it. You know that there's more up here. You know that there's more towns potentially going to be up here. Not every town can be blocked behind both the flute and the hammer forest tile at this point. Or I guess maybe it could, but I would still maybe look around. We know that fairy is readily accessible, and there could be a fairy block in P5. I don't believe there is in this one, but you never know as a runner as you first walk in here.
It is kind of funny. We have cheap thunder and expensive fairy.
Typical rando.
And Nimbus discovers just how close to the entrance Karak actually was for all that.
Yeah. You never know, though. As always, you know, standard routing to the right usually just takes everyone to the right to begin with in your normal palaces. It's much more of a gamble just to go left right off the bat. You really have no idea, and the fact that you're going to run into a boss has to be left to right. The boss room has to be left to right, so you have to enter in on the left side, meaning you have to exit out of the previous screen from the right side. So moving left to right in palaces is a better guess when you're making guesses. It's just a higher percentage that you'll run into a boss going in that direction.
Wow, Attack 8 was cheaper than Magic 8. That's also not something you often see.
Magic expensive and pricey today. Other than Fire Thunder, of course.
And we'll have to find P2 before we can get that Magic 8.
Probably going to be doing a little looking around for Mito at this point. Probably wants that down stab, almost an hour into the seed here for Nimbus. Or not?
Nope, he's off to the east. And Alan has found... Oh, wow. Guma is, like, especially since Alan doesn't have any extra heart containers, he took basically all of Alan's life with one hit.
Ouch. I know Alan likes this side despawn. Ooh.
Oh, no, sorry. He quote-unquote only took 2 bars there, so I guess Alan can withstand 2 hits from Guma, and the third one would do it.
Yeah, Alan has more or less patented this keep Guma on the side and despawn the ball and chain. And as he steps out, you can still smack him before that ball and chain actually spawns, and you get him down. Nimbus looks like he's headed to test the three-eyed rock and see what lies behind it. Again, it's going to be interesting if it's not a palace.
And Nimbus doing the take an intentional death to restore his magic to fairy feet, and then he can up A once he hits the palace.
I don't remember if Nimbus pulled the item out of 5. Was this where the flute was? I'm terrible at remember where that flute was. Trying to watch both of our runners in palaces at the same time sometimes is confusing. I don't remember if it was 1 or 5 that he found the flute in, because Alan also hasn't done 1.
I think that was 1.
I think it was as well. So I'm trying to think if he found the item in 5, if it was even worth digging out. Oh, Alan says... that's a negative, Ghost Rider. I'm out. All right, here's going to be the boots for Alan.
So Nimbus is making for Three-Eyed Rock. We will find out if this is P2 behind it.
Drum roll. Oh!
Oh, so you were right.
Well, that's
We're
the water.
going to find that hammer.
That's the water tile. He should check what's on the water tile. Could be another heart.
Could be the hammer.
Could be the hammer, exactly. I'll be honest, I'm somewhat interested to know where that one pass-through cave goes.
Okay. Okay. It is the hammer.
Oh, wow.
So that is our go mode, finally. Now we just need to find the forest tile. Do we have any idea? Have we seen it?
We have. It's in the southern half of the east.
Okay, so we don't need to go through the Valley of Death anymore.
No. Yeah, easier just to up an A, go back to the west, hit up one of these connectors to the east, and then it's going to be just in the corner over here. I'm kind of hoping it's not in here either. I hope it's through that pass-through, but, oh, yeah, tile, an overworld tile. All right. There it is. Easy enough. Easy enough. No troll hidden in a small little hole in the mountain where I thought it might be.
Yeah, and GP was back in the west, right?
Yes.
So we can go to the west. Hopefully he'll be able to find Mito now, get down stab, and then we should be good.
That's a very close to start helmet.
that was also a one-hit helmet head. I mean, I know we've talked about how weak helmet head is, but even for weak helmet head, that's weak.
Good old attack 8, though. Now he's getting his 888 if he wants it.
Looks like he's waiting it out.
Unless Life 9 is only 7,000 and Magic 8 is. I don't know what the costs were.
Oh no! He took Life 9! Why did he do that?
Oh man, that's funny. That's
it
funny.
Was
that
only
Magic
200 extra XP. You know, if you waited it out that far, go to the next room and try to farm 200 XP.
Magic is so expensive.
Well, we won't be casting much fairy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Stuck in the Lost Tile encounters where Bagu normally resides is usually annoying. Probably just looking around for Mito at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm quite curious where Rudo was.
Yeah, we never did find it, and we probably never will.
Oh, this might be it right here. This has got to be it.
Oh, yep.
Wow,
with his thunder spell that we're never going to collect.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be Mito for him here. Neither one of our runners found the medicine, so there'll be no shield spell. They just have jump and fairy, and of course a fire thunder. Fire thunder is going to negate a lot of these rooms. But I mean, if it's a room with a bunch of generators in there, and if it's some rooms still may be tough, but any room that's going to have a bunch of flying bird knights or anything like that in there, probably just going to be spamming thunder to get through them.
And Alan finally got a heart container. But he still doesn't have the flute. And the flute locks the hammer, and the hammer locks P2.
Yeah, talk about a nice linear path of progression.
So he'll need to dig P1.
That's going to be back on Maze Island. He does have the boots now, so he can just jump into Death Mountain, walk up the water, and hit that Maze Island connector bridge. And if he wants it, he can dig out that second heart container. Another thing that might be a little tough is that if Nimbus is taking a bunch of damage, only those 5 hearts. But I don't know. I mean, you can talk about how he's got a great life refill. He's got a cheap thunder. I mean, all of these things do come into play. So 5 hearts might not be any sort of problem whatsoever.
And unfortunately, with Nimbus's mic on, we can't hear the lovely GP music.
Yeah. We do see multiple paths right in the beginning that will 4-way into a 2-way. And this means he's got some choices ahead of him. But it also means that whenever we find Thunderbird, we can probably expect a good bit of the palace that's going to be left behind him. So Darkling probably won't be too much further after that point. I don't remember how cheap fire was. Was it in single digits at Magic 7?
Yeah, it's 8.
Oh, okay, okay.
So we've got a lot of casts of thunder here.
Yeah, I wonder... I was just interested to know why he might have not been spamming it, or just... Well, I guess that orange bird knight is pretty easy to kill with just 1 hit. Save the thunders for the red and blue ones, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, with a nice little upstab like that. You know, that's the easiest way to get the orange ones.
Yeah, plus with an expensive fairy, you know, it might be... Even though Fire Thunder is so cheap, it's, you know, fairy isn't. If he's using jump like he is here, twice, 1 forward, 1 backward, that all adds up. So it's probably good to not be using Fire Thunder like a maniac. Yeah, fairy's still 46 at Magic 7. That is pricey. So that is going to be fire for Alan, and little does he know that it is also thunder.
Well, now Alan knows it's thunder.
Yeah. That's always a good feeling when you're running, you're like, oh yeah. But then you have to think, does Nimbus have this, and is he using it? Has he been using it for a while?
And the answer is yes. And more relevantly, even though Alan now has a huge amount of life and magic, whoa, that is a tough position for Nimbus, because you don't want to break through the block or you take a lava bath.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alan really needs that flute. Doesn't matter how much health you have.
Yeah, if he was a little bit closer, I would say that health is definitely going to play into a factor here to see who could maybe change leads, but he still has to dig to P1, get the flute, kill Horsehead, head back to the top side of the east, and then do P2. P2 is very quickly done, as we know. But then, you know, he's still going to be what, 5 to 7 more minutes at this point?
I was just about to ask if Nimbus was going to take the drop in that room, and he takes the drop. Okay, so here Alan is going for P1, or not?
Yeah, I think he wanted that first item. In case it's the flute, yeah, he doesn't know, and he knows he needs that flute now, or potentially the hammer, and yeah.
Fairy meets fairy, that's great.
A lot of blue birds flying around here. Oh, is this a fairy room, or is this going to be the crumble bridge? You never know till you see it. Gets the jar. Very nice. Oh, but it was not.
Ah, well. He still has more magic than he had before.
Yeah. So I wonder if this is a loop. We did see a three-way like this. Nope, it's not.
Didn't want to deal with an orange chicken. And remember, folks, this is short GP.
Yeah, this is short GP. We're not using long GP flags just yet, although that is coming up soonish in the upper bracket. This Nimbus can have good luck with these dots all the way through. All the way through, he has good luck with those dots. Those dots can be a little damaging when they're coming up, when they're vertical like that. Oh, is this a loop back to the beginning of the palace?
Oh my.
Wow, a lot of loops.
That was a long loop. But hey, that means that Thunderbird's got to be relatively close since all of those rooms aren't involved in it.
Yeah, and it seems like it may be that orange, the upstat block orange bird knight who's guarding that upstat block might be in that direction, it looks like.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised that he noped out on the orange chicken so quickly.
To answer a question in chat there from Crypto, 16, the randomizer does not enable any levels above level 8. So I don't know if you're thinking about something else or if that's a suggestion. We only have up to level 8, just the standard vanilla level cap here. And not only in this flag set, but just in general, the randomizer does not have an option to increase levels beyond 8. Getting a little beat up by that orange knight there. Ooh, a body that takes 2 heart containers there, so. That might have been worth a cheap Fire Thunder just to get through that with no damage. No Thunderbird yet. There's an elevator at the end of this room, though. Having to be careful. He's getting a little beat up here. We've been seeing some GPs that are not disappointing in these races here.
For some definition of not disappointing.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who you're asking.
Oh, instead of the traditional chicken and waffles, we have the bubble and waffles room.
You may want to check the expiration date on your waffles at that point.
And here's Thunderbird. Nice.
Not going to have any shield, nothing else, no reflect or anything. One last little cast of fire there for his Fire Thunder. Probably cannot take a hit, although Life 8 might provide enough defense to take 1 hit from Thunderbird. I don't know if Thunderbird does a constant, like 2.5 heart containers per fireball. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Oh!
He couldn't take the hit.
Alan with the flute and P1 there.
But now he got off a reflect. And he has life queued up and everything.
Is he on his last life? I didn't...
Yes, he is now on his last life.
Okay. Attack 8 does make quick work of Thunderbird, though. Thunderbird is a boss who cannot have... I believe his health is static. The randomizer does not actually increase or decrease Thunderbird's health.
And now he's not on his last life because, as you said much earlier,
that's right.
Those one-up drops from bosses are really nice when you get to Thunderbird.
Yeah, hell yeah. This is a fun room, though. He might get bopped off into the lava here. You never know. Oh!
Good thing he had fairy queued up.
Wow.
Speaking of fairy, there was one over there, but he skips it, and I think this is Dark Link.
Yep, still got a life and a half left, so this should be probably the end to this one. Even if it sends Nimbus back to the beginning, that's going to be some really bad luck, and he still has a bit of an advantage over Alan at this point. He still knows his way through GP better than Alan, even if Alan is able to enter before Nimbus is done. Again, assuming a terrible out of left field game over at this point, which is pretty unlikely. Yes, it is Dark Zelda. It is. They are using the Zelda sprite from the randomizer, and the shadow form just simply takes the form of your current sprite.
Oh, and Nimbus does take a death there, but we know he has a generous life spell, and he now has full magic, so I would be shocked if he can't get through this. And there we go.
GG's in chat for Lord Nimbus.
And he advances to the top 8 here.
And of course, this is the lower bracket. As a reminder, whoever loses today goes home. So that is going to be a second loss for Alan here, unfortunately.
But we still very much appreciate everything he does for the community.
Of course. Alan is not going to... I don't know if he's not seen the race room result. He may just be continuing playing and pushing along here. He also said he was not going to be doing an interview. That's Alan specifically. So I don't know if Lord Nimbus wants to do an interview here. We can hit the button. And when we do, we'll see winner pop up under his screen. And he will get an invite to show up here. And Diesel, instead of Nimbus, has shown up. Plot twist, Diesel has been Nimbus the entire time. I'm not entirely sure. I think Lord Nimbus was not in the SpeedGaming Live Discord in the past. I don't know if the bot is going to have a problem giving him an invite.
Should be, as long as you're in any Discord that has a SpeedGaming bot in it. It can send an invite.
Good old hammer for Alan. He up in A's. He is also going to do the same thing Nimbus did. Just go back, hit the East connector. He knows what the
here Nimbus finally is in the waiting room. Wait, Alan was going through Death Valley. Did he take a death?
He just up and ate after he got the hammer off of the water tile. He's headed over to the forest tile now.
Oh, okay. I forgot that the forest tile was back in the west.
No, it's in the very, very south of the east, right.
Oh, right. He rafted. Yes, sorry. I was busy trying to get Nimbus in here. And we are joined by our winner, Lord Nimbus. GG.
GG.
GG. Thank you.
You like that little catch at the end with the flute and the hammer?
Yeah, I like that a lot. That was I was getting really nervous as to where the hammer was going to be.
Oh man, what a seed! What a seed! A rough, somewhat of a rough start there in the beginning. Both of you having a bit of trouble, a lot of Dairas, the Death Mountain digging, the Death Valley with no fairy. I mean, this seed delivered from an audience perspective for sure.
Yeah, very tough Death Mountain. I got very worried at the beginning until I found the glove, and then I was pretty excited I found the glove, and then I was just as unexcited once I found the hint for the glove.
It's so funny you say that. We saw the hint on Alan's side before you found it, and then you found it and we're thinking, well, Alan knows where it's at, and you're going to see the hint eventually too. It does feel like a bigger play if you kind of make that gamble. You're like, oh, Hammer Cave. I'll go into Hammer Cave, and it's the glove. You're like, oh, this is a big play. Then you see the hint. You're like, well, everyone has this information now.
That was, I thought it was going to be the boots. I missed just a portion to the south on the west to realize that there was more west available. So I was hoping for the boots, and I saw the glove, and then I just got really confused. I was like, oh boy, now I felt pretty behind the entire race.
I can imagine. It was a twisting, turning seed from start to finish, and I would have easily felt behind with as many hurdles you had to overcome.
Well, and one particularly challenging thing was you were on 5 magic jars the whole time, and Fairy was not cheap.
No, it wasn't. And I tried to get Fairy 8, and it was 200 points away. It gave me a life 8 instead, and I was just like, dang it.
I was actually a little bit surprised you just took the life 9 at that point and didn't grind out the 200 points.
Yeah, I just took the losses. Like, I'll accept my loss.
So real quick here, I'm just going to break over to the stream real fast. Alan is kind of trying to get through an upstab block. He doesn't have upstab. I guess he never got it out of Darunia. You guys didn't have jump when you first saw Darunia, I think. And
well, Nimbus found Darunia later, so by that point he did have jump. But yeah, Alan found Darunia so early he didn't.
That's very true. That's very true. Alan can actually cast jump there and get through that upstab block. So just a note to the audience. But yeah, we never saw Rudo until much later, and that had with a thunder spell in it, and it was Fire Thunder, so that probably felt pretty good taking a gamble on fire to pick up Fire and Saria there.
I was extremely close to not going there because I felt behind. I was going to skip Fire.
Yeah, we saw you kind of duck in and out, a bit indecisive.
And it's like, oh, it could be Fire, and then, it could be Thunder, and then when I got into an encounter, I was like, I guess I was blessed, I guess.
And we never found where the trophy was either, so we have no idea how you'd acquire actual Thunder.
Yeah, the spots where items could be found were dwindling, so it was like Speck Rock, or I guess I'm not even entirely sure, 2 other palaces perhaps. I think we've seen every item cave. Even Alan found some heart containers. He found Pillar P-Bag Cave, found a heart container in there. That's one thing early on that we thought might kind of change the way the seed played out, and especially even near the end. You were far enough ahead to where we didn't think it was going to come into account anymore. But Fairy was still expensive. It was still 46 at Magic 7, and you only had 6 magic containers, correct?
5.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah, one thing we found out was that the woman in New Kasuto has a vanilla magic container, so you needed the 6th to get the 7th.
Oh.
Yeah, well, the thing is, in the early game, Alan, he went through a pass-through cave west, and that landed him on the grass tile, and on the grass tile was a magic container, and then you found Magic Container Cave, and he found Magic Container Cave, and there was another magic container in there. So he had 6 when he first found the east, which gave him access to the 7th one in the basement of that woman in New Kasuto. And so we were wondering if having more magic was going to come into play, but then the magic key was kind of right there, open on the east. So, having to cast and rely on Fairy often probably wasn't going to be too much of a thing. In the end, though, you survived. That cheap Fire Thunder definitely came through on the Thunderbird fight there for sure.
Yeah, and one of the things I've been trying to work on is dying when I do die, don't die with the full magic bar. So I'm kind of used to not using fairy a lot in GP because I die a lot with the full magic bar and I forget to use my magic. I gotta use it more intelligently.
And for some reason, the restream bot just cut out.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what happened there. Well,
we'll see if we can get it up. Obviously, Alan's not too far from finishing.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we're not at. If the restream bot's not broadcasting, we're not broadcasting either.
Oh. Are you sure? Is chat able to hear us? Okay, they can hear us.
Okay, chat can hear us. Sorry, that's very confusing.
All right. Well, if it doesn't come back online, Alan is close to finishing. Lord Nimbus does move on, though. Let's check the brackets real fast here. Lord Nimbus, you are moving on to Willard J. Bradley and Freddie still have to play. I believe they're going to schedule for Sunday, I think. And then after that, you'll know who wins that race, and that's going to be your next opponent there. Alan, again, being in the lower brackets here, this is his second loss, and so he does get to go home from this point. But yeah, you've got a few more races ahead of you here. I might be coming, I took the win on our race the other day, but I might be joining you down in the lower brackets soon enough. The opponents up in the upper bracket are very, very difficult moving forward here. So we'll see if I can hang on. But if I can't, I'll be joining you down there soon enough.
It's not going to be much easier on the bottom either.
they do lay it out so that you guys couldn't face each other before the losers semifinal.
Yeah. But I guess for anyone who's interested, tonight there should be at least one race, and that's going to be between Light and myself. Light is a very, very good vanilla speedrunner who also dabbles in the randomizer on top of that. So that race is happening at, I believe, 7:15 is when live for any restreams happen. Our 15-minute delay puts us at a start for ourselves at 7 o'clock. Trails, I believe, may be setting up a race tonight as well between him and Big Slammer. I don't know what time that's going to be. They have a schedule. I don't know if it's on the schedule just yet. I don't know if it'll be on a SpeedGaming live channel, if we'll have time for that, but it might be a certified bootleg restream on a personal channel from myself. If anyone's interested in that, if you're looking at the, I don't have the schedule in front of me here, but
there, I put up the link to it in chat.
Okay, fantastic. You can check those. The Z2R Discord is not there specifically. If you want to link to that to see any future events that may not be on SGL, because sometimes these things are scheduled last minute, that's going to be /Discord. That'll forward you to an invite link to the Z2R Discord.